Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by a legend. His name is Dr. John West, and he has had a 50-year career in medicine. John, I can't believe it. 50 years.
That's what the numbers say. I can't believe it either.
It's absolutely amazing. And, you know, here you are with us. You've been with us a number of different times. And this is kind of a farewell. I'm not sure I like that.
I'm not sure I do either. Can you do something about it?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do in your retirement? Are you going to be playing golf?
Well, I want you to email me every few months and say, we desperately need you. Nobody else can do what you do. We're on our hands and knees. Please, please, please do a Zoom video like this. And I'd probably say, well, you know, I did one before, but I guess I thought that was my last one. I will do one more.
All right. Well, we're going to have to set that up with Paul because I'm sure he's going to have, you know, your information to know where to find you. So,
okay. I've given my patients my email address, and I've had tons of people, you know, making comments. So it's kind of fun because my patients are my friends. I've been doing this, you know, with the breast stuff for almost 30 years now, and it's a very tight relationship between the doctor and the patient. And we get to really know each other and bond, and so it's really tough to leave, but there's some many, many happy memories.
I bet. And, you know, it's a long time, and you've seen so many changes over that many years, and technology has just gotten better and better and better. So
go ahead, but let me put this in perspective because I don't think there's one person in 1,000 that understands what's happened over the last 50 years. When I came down to Orange County, we had no mammography, no oncology. We didn't see women until they had a lump, and then if they had a lump, they had to sign a consent for a possible radical mastectomy. So we would take it out, do a frozen section, and I'm talking about women 18, 19, 20 years old, where we knew it wasn't cancer, and it caused so much anxiety. But here's the problem. During my last year as a resident in training, we had a 34-year-old girl who was just beautiful, and she had had breast cancer on one side, and she wanted both breasts off, so she had bilateral radical mastectomies. The next day after surgery, I took off her dressings, I looked at her wounds, and I was almost sick. I mean, this poor 34-year-old lady was butchered. I mean, it was the right thing to do at that time, but it was terrible. I remember telling my wife that night, I said, I love surgery. I can't wait to get in private practice, but I don't want to do that breast surgery. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And look at how far we've come. I mean, now you can't tell. There's reconstructive surgery, and there's so many other means now.
Yeah. Well, if you want to really summarize the progress, very high percentage of patients when we first came down here would recur and ultimately die of breast cancer. Now, I would say in quotation marks, we've cured breast cancer. So let me clarify, that's not for every woman, but for our women who follow early detection guidelines, who have their regularly scheduled yearly mammogram and any extra views if needed. If their breasts are dense, they get an ultrasound. If they're high risk, we add an MRI. We know how to find cancers in asymptomatic patients with no problem. We can find little bitty low-grade cancers, outpatient surgery, lumpectomy, maybe a lymph node, maybe radiation, certainly not chemotherapy, and a high probability of long-term cure. But the problem is so many women don't follow these, or they don't get reminded by the doctor. We have such a tight system that once patients bond with us and they believe in our model, we can almost guarantee them that if they ever get cancer, we're going to catch it as early as possible when it's basically curable.
Right, right. And you know what? That is a really important message because you want everybody to follow the examples that you have given by doing the self-home evaluations and do keep your appointments. And you know, because of COVID right now, a lot of people haven't been keeping their appointments. Tell me how important it is for them to keep their appointments.
Well, how about life and death?
Well, that's really important.
The point is, I'm overstating it with that, but the point is, we have a chance to cure when the patient follows we'll never cure everybody, but probably 99% versus 50% 30 years ago. So we want everybody to rigidly follow those guidelines. With COVID, we're stuck. We got behind. So all the imaging centers were closed down for a while. Everybody's behind. Now we got to catch up with all those patients, plus serve our yearly mammogram screening patients that are already established with us. So we have taken some really proactive steps to increase our capacity to put in new and expanded imaging, new technology, artificial intelligence. We are going to be the premier center in the world.
I love it. And so are they going to keep you on as a consultant?
Well, yeah, if there's a need for me, they have my, my phone number, my cell number, etc. So if they have questions, I'd be excited. I would like to have them call me and participate in big picture kind of issues like long-term planning and getting the word out, because we've got to convince women to follow these guidelines. So many doctors are so busy now, they barely even talk about screening mammograms and the issue of density and the issue of who's high risk and needs genetic testing. These are big issues for every woman. Half of all women have dense breasts. That means half of all women are increased risk for breast cancer compared to the other half that has primarily fatty breasts. So the dense breasts are all mostly white, and little bitty cancers can hide in there. But if we can get these women to come in and see us directly rather than wait for a referral from a primary doctor or whatever, get in our pattern of follow-up, we can give them really good news.
Excellent. Now, you wrote a book way back when, Prevent, Survive, and Thrive. And, this is a great book for anyone to read.
I tried to make it a fun read because it goes back to the history when I was in surgical training, and then it starts when I went to Orange County. I'm the one that started the regional trauma system, the first in the nation right here in Orange County. We now have one of the top organized trauma systems in the nation, and it's working extremely well. So I'm extremely proud of that, and that's mentioned in the book. But the key, of course, is on breast cancer, early detection, support, the importance of hope, and then all some of these subtle things that women don't know what to do. They get a diagnosis of lobular cancer or atypia, or so many of these diagnoses that are just a little not the same as regular invasive breast cancer, and they need explanations. And there it is, right at your fingertips. Anything you want to know from a practical point of view about diagnosing, treating, screening, whatever it takes to make this thing work, the answers are all right there in the book. Unfortunately, like most bestsellers, it's sold out. But I'm kidding. That wasn't. But it is sold out now. You can go to Google search or Amazon and get used copies. And once in a while, somebody will have a new copy. I've searched it a couple of times recently because we're running so low on books. But at any rate, it's a great book, and really it should have received a Nobel Prize.
Well, maybe you'll get one after your retirement.
I'm waiting.
Well, we have your email.
Submit my name.
We know where to find you, evidently. So Dr. West, what's next for you? I mean, are you going to find an island?
Well, I think you mean immediately next, not next a few years from now, but we're moving to North Carolina because my grandchildren are there now. And so I want to be close to my grandkids, but we're going to keep our house in Orange County. And so, we'll come here, a couple of weeks in the winter, a couple of weeks in the summer, and, kind of whenever necessary. But I love where we live in Orange County. I think it's the best place to live in the world. And I hope North Carolina is the second best in the world.
Well, it should be, because you have your family there. So that's awesome that you're going to be able to see them so much. Now, you have two folks who are going to be replacing you. You have Dr. Bonev and Dr. Tung. What are some advice for them?
Well, first of all, realize that you have the opportunity of a lifetime. This is an established program with a vision for the future. It is a dream job for any young trained breast surgeon. And we didn't just pick any young trained breast surgeon. We searched for 2 years to find somebody that would really fit in. And we got two of the best, one from MD Anderson and one from Northwestern in Chicago, both top training programs. We've talked to their directors. We got the greatest feedback from them. And I've now worked with both of them, and they're just wonderful people. They're as enthusiastic as I am. I'm totally confident that they'll not only keep up the tradition, but they're going to expand the vision.
Well, we're going to be interviewing them shortly, so they've got some big shoes to fill.
I have small feet, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, you are going to be greatly missed. I wish you well on your new endeavors, and happy retirement to you.
Thank you very much. I think it's going to be a happy retirement. I actually am ready to retire. I'm looking forward to it. The stress level was kind of getting to me, and now I can relax, I can work out, and I can watch my grandkids grow up. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.